Hi, Assalamualaikum and good day. I'm from Group 3 and would like to present regarding petroleum exploration and rock mechanics in Malaysia. Introduction on rock mechanics and petroleum. Rock mechanics is a central component of many oil industry problems that can be considered as a phase of intensive exploration after the early days. Petroleum-related rock mechanics were mostly confined in a few specific such as hydraulic fracturing design and pore compressibility assessment. From an industrial point of view, the role of rock mechanics has thus been limited to feeding parameters into semi-empirical models for the optimum perforation flow performance. However, the margin for a larger rock mechanical involvement is quite large, and this domain can be likened to a field that has been discovered but remains to be appraised. For petroleum, petroleum means rock oil that could not exist under the ground without reservoir rock, be it sandstone, limestone, shale, or granite. Therefore, understanding the rock characteristic and its behavior is primarily important before designing phase of a petroleum field. Knowing that most of the petroleum field will situated in limestone, the emphasizing would focus on this type of rock. The basic properties such as porosity, permeability, density, compressive strength, tensile and shear strength are need to be defined and understood, and the relationship among them should be identified. There are three methods commonly used in petroleum exploration. First is magnetic survey. A magnetic survey is primarily used to explore for oil and minerals. Magnetic exploration is based on the fact that the Earth acts as a magnet. Any magnetic material placed in an external field will have magnetic poles induced upon its surface. The induced magnetization, sometimes called polarization, is in the direction of the applied field, and its strength is proportional to the strength of the field. Secondly is gravimetric survey. Gravimetry is an underutilized geophysical method that is very effective when used properly, especially in parallel with other methods. A gravimetric survey provides diagnostic information on variation in soil density and allows the presence of a deficit or an excess of mass to be identified with respect to the regional gradient. Lastly is seismic exploration survey. The word seismic refers to sending the sound wave in the form of vibrate into the earth and then take the sound picture. The seismic survey can explain subsurface discontinuities, layering, and probable rock or structures. It is suitable for the investigation of coal, oil and gas, groundwater, and massive metallic deposit. Study case we obtained through this topic is at Lukonia, Kuching, Sarawak. For oil and gas industry, the oil and gas company bring the truck with big vibrator along them. This vibrator is to create the sound energy or vibration. Users at the truck to carry geophones, which are very sensitive microphones, to hear the reflected sound, but sometimes they are very small charges. Therefore, the geophones which are on the ground and in the line are able to record the reflected sound inside the geophone truck. The vibrator truck releases 1,000 of seismic waves, which produced by hammering on a metal plate or by dropping a heavy ball or by using explosives. The wave stands on the different layer of the earth. When the wave passes a given point in the rock, the particles are momentarily displaced or disturbed. Then the waves are reflected back to the geophones. The geophone truck will then record and store them. Process involved to obtain data petroleum and condition of the rocks. Mechanics are: first is seismic refraction method. Refraction is the deflection or bending of a band of seismic waveways caused by caused by its passage from one material to another that has different elastic properties, for example, density. Waves are refracted when crossing boundaries between different types or condition of soil or rock, which allow us to know about the general soil type and approximate depth to the boundary of the strata or bedrock. Second is seismic reflection method. Seismic reflection methods have been used to map sediment thickness in many parts of the ocean. In addition to thickness, seismic reflection can often reveal sediment types of sedimentation processes. This method relies on the principle of echo-sound and is a special tool for oil and gas exploration. It also uses seismic wave which generated by weight loss hemoblows or other seismic sources that are reflected from the bedrock and returned directly to the geophone. Please refer to Figure 2 and Figure 3 for further explanation. For Figure 2, which is a refraction method, energy sources such as explosive will be indicated and the wave will be refracted based on the angle and velocity, and data will be collected by the detectors. For Figure 3 is under reflection method. So for Figure 3, the seismic source is such as a vibrator truck will send thousands of waves to different layers of the earth and will reflect it to the geophones for record and store data. For result and discussion, the high quality of modern 3D seismic data enables us to nicely image the channel that were missed on the old data set. Based on this analysis, we concluded that in the Malay Basin, there are basically two types of channel configurations. Many low sinusoidal channels are filled with clay or silt. The high sinusoidal channel contains sand in point bar with possible HC. 3D visualization and seismic section of part of the Luconia, Kuching Sarawak carbonate buildup. Three pinnacle types of carbonate structures. Reddish brown represent the top of the carbonate. Blue refers to the topsil as shale. The two rightmost pinnacles were drilled successfully, resulting in a large gas column. For the conclusion, when choosing a geophysical survey method for a location and target conditions of the investigation, we should keep in mind several factors. First, the technique must be appropriate for detecting required targets on site described as having abnormal features. Second, the technique must be appropriate to the condition of the area, especially the subsurface and surface geology. If a particular method is conducted, it will be best to be used to complement it with another method of geophysical survey, example, gravity and magnetometry. However, for seismic survey can be used independently due to their continuing improvement of the technique. The seismic survey is the best suitable use in petroleum exploration. Thank you.